This week we're talking about an abstract game. An abstract game is one that contains almost no luck, no theme. It's typically just two players, just you and me, placing pieces, taking pieces, often played in complete silence, scanning the board, biding your time. Are you sure you want to go there? Have you looked at the whole board? Have you planned for my next move? What's my next move going to be? Are you sure that you want to go there? Unique rules, capture and movement, reconfiguring your brain until you start to see the board through the lens of unique patterns, grids, or maybe you just get swamped by all the options, all the choices hidden between these simple shapes on a simple board. Are you sure you want to go there? Well, you actually have. Are you sure, you idiot? You shouldn't have gone there. Look at the child. Everyone, look! Look at the child! Oh, hello. I'm Adam from No Rolls Barred, and welcome to Board Game Masterpieces, where we hand select a game we believe is an absolute essential purchase for any board gamer, and we give it the works. A brief rundown of its history, a deep dive review, and a how to play, all contained in a simple, concise haiku. Over the course of No Rolls Barred's life, we've done a number of different lists, two of those being top 10 abstract games and top 10 most beautiful games. I am sad to say that both those lists are now invalid, as I made them when I hadn't yet played SHŌBU. Despite coming out in 2019, SHŌBU is a game that immediately feels ancient, and the designers Manolis Vranis and Jamie Sajdak have gone to great lengths to evoke that feeling. Everything here, in some cases, literally reeks of artificially generated history, like an Ivy League university aging their walls with acid, or to put it simply, a Disney castle. The game's name SHŌBU derives from the Japanese word shubo, meaning game or contest, made up of two kanji, one meaning victory, the other meaning defeat. The game is played with stones, proper weighty stones, coloured in white and black, like the two tones of my hair, or like the stones of Go, if you want to be pretentious about it. Wooden panels of basic squares, like the original unshaded chessboards of Chaturanga, or the crisscross board of, well, I guess Go again. Boards of treated wood that make them look like the treated wood of Go boards. I'm starting to think the designers really like Go, except the designers aren't actually Japanese, so it's kind of like a fortune cookie. Something that adopts Eastern stylings in order to give it a profundity that it might not actually have. And I'm aware I'm saying that, wearing a robe with dragons on it. Oh man, I was not sure about this one. Oh, I wasn't sure about wearing it, but I've worn it for the other board game masterpieces, so would it be racist not to? I don't know. Point is, the designers have made it intensely Eastern in order to give it a profundity, and while that might be a problem for some, I mean, I've just got to say, this game is profound as balls. Also, for literally no reason at all other than aesthetic, it comes with a little bit of knotted rope that lies in the middle of the playing area. It does nothing other than divide the playing space in half, which you don't need to do. You can tell what half your boards are on. And it also smells really good. Really weirdly good. And it conjures a sensation of a simple people playing a simple game. Perhaps an ancient fishing village, pushing stones around a grid drawn into the sand. Is that patronizing? Very possibly, but it's also charming. Like me, isn't that right? Are you sure you want to go there? No, wait, stop, come back, because we have to talk about how beautiful this game is. Look at it, look how beautiful it is. These stones feel amazing. You know when you're on a beach and you think to your stupid child brain, oh, that's a pretty stone. Better keep that and put it in a bowl at home like a massive Tory. Well, all the stones are like that. It's so beautiful. Why does this rope smell so good? It smells like renovation. It smells like a new house with particles of sawdust fresh in the air, but it also smells like an ancient wooden chest that used to contain sea salt. What's wrong with me? Take this away from me. No, please, Laurie, take this away from me. No, actually, no, give it back, give it back. And SHŌBU is a simple game. I can teach you the rules with 2 minutes and change. And like great abstract games, its simplicity is merely a friendly mask that hides a cunning smile. But getting into what makes SHŌBU great won't make sense without going through the rules. So I can do it in 2 minutes, sure, why not? 2 minutes on the clock, starting now. So the game is set up like this. These are my two home boards. They're on my side of the rope, one light, one dark. These are your two home boards, one light, one dark. Each board has 4 white stones, 4 black stones. I am white, I control the white stones on each board. You're black, you control the black stones on each board. On your turn, you are going to be moving 2 of your stones, one from a light board, one from a dark board. First, take 1 stone of your color from either one of your home boards, either light or the dark board, doesn't matter as long as it sits on your side of the rope, and move that stone either 1 or 2 squares in any direction, up, down, left, right, as long as it's not blocked by the board's edge or another stone. You see, this move can't push other stones. It's called the passive move. Once the passive move is done, you must move another one of your stones on either board of a different color. So if I make this first move on a light board, I must make the other one on either the dark board on my side or the dark board on your side, and I must move the stone in exactly the same way. So if I move diagonally 2 spaces this board, I have to move diagonally 2 spaces on this board. But here's the kicker. This move can push other stones. So if that opponent's stone was there, I move here on this board, and then I move this one, boom, pushes it off the board. If the stone is pushed off the board, that stone is eliminated from play. If you eliminate all 4 of your opponent's stones on any one of these boards, you win the game instantly. You can never push 2 stones at one time, and you can never push your own stones, boom, stop the clock. That's literally it. That is all the rules there are to SHŌBU. I made a joke earlier that you can wrap this whole video up in a haiku, but you literally can cover the rules of SHŌBU. It's so simple. You can contain them all within one haiku. Move stone on one board, then same move opposite board to push off stones, bum. Profound wisdom. So let's put that speed gimmick to one side and take the time to break it down and really understand how these rules play out in real time. See, SHŌBU isn't just a piece elimination. I threw a rock by accident. See, SHŌBU isn't just a piece elimination game like chess or a pushing game like abalone. It's a programming game. And that's what twists this from chess, where you can have an almost set response to any circumstance lodged in your brain, to something more reactive, unpredictable, and alive in the moment. Because in order to win, you need to push your opponent's pieces off any one of the 4 boards with your stones in your second move. But in order to carry out that second move, you have to carry out that same movement in your first move, which is a much more restrictive move because you can't push stones in your first move. These are rules which are not easy to wrap your head around when you start, but soon you'll start to it'll just be ingrained in you. I'll give you an example. We're late in the game. All I need to do to win on this board here, and therefore win the whole game, is move this stone 2 spaces to its right. Kapow! You off the board. See you later. However, in order to activate that second aggressive move, I need to be able to program that move in on this board here. Because, again, this is a light board, so I obviously have to make the first move on a dark board. And because this is my home dark board, I have to be moving on this one first, because you have to move on one of your home boards first. So I have to be able to move one of my white stones here 2 spaces to the right to activate this move 2 spaces to the right. However, I programmed badly because I'm dumb. So I can't move this one 2 spaces to its right, it would fall off the board. Can't move this one 2 spaces to the right, it would fall off the board. Can't move this one 2 spaces to its right, because you can't push your opponent's stones on your passive move. I've so many pieces, but none of them will do the one thing I need them to do to win the game. So what am I gonna do instead? I guess I will move this one here to move that one there. So maybe but no, I can't do the diagonal move next go. So what am I gonna do? I guess I'll move this one here and then this one here. Figure it out, because hopefully I don't know. And in the meantime, my opponent on there just goes, all right, cool, see you later, and they're out of danger for now. It's a game of cat and mouse, but before each move, the cats and mice have to apply for planning permission. And because I've used such a mundane term, here's a very silly thing from a very silly anime. My editor Terry likes anime. It's important to throw your editors a bone occasionally. Isn't that right, Terry? Which means that in a normal abstract game like checkers, you look at the board and you see perfect information. You see all the pieces, nothing's hidden from you. You see all the places those pieces could move in certain orders. And you can then almost map it out, move for move. Like this move will lead to them doing this, which will lead to me doing this. With SHŌBU, you're looking at a board state with perfect information on it, but you're looking at 2 levels of perfect information stacked on top of each other like projector screens. One showing you all the most useful aggressive moves you could make to eliminate other pieces, which is again how you win. And the other, all the passive moves you can and can't currently do to set up those aggressive moves. And if that sounds like an overwhelming amount of information, it kind of is. But the game doesn't start that way. Because at the setup, look how simple this is. You make your first move. Easy. The board state has barely changed. But as move after move happens, then that's when the dangers arrive. But it's easy to comprehend these dangers because they're gradually blossoming on the board. These revelations are happening at such a pace that you can keep track of them. Your brain just about keeping step with every new possibility. And almost without realizing, you are then spinning 4 plates at once, decoding the board state, looking for these pathways to give you that one precious move you need. It translates into this blissful playing state where you can't map out dozens of moves in the distance. There's too much information and just one of your opponent's moves is going to wreck all of it. So you have to just give up and react to it. And that is where excitement lives. And this game happens in about 20 minutes, total game time. So yeah, fine, make your mistakes, re-rack, go again. Every turn you're presented with new options, new ways to program these stones. Suddenly a pathway opens up for one of your trap stones. You move in, pow, your aggressive move sends your opponent's stone clattering to the table with this satisfying thunk, or it would do if I wasn't playing on felt, which I do love, by the way. But then, oh no, you've left yourself open for a counter-attack, you silly bastard, and another thunk, or a felt equivalent, a thunk. See, you'll make mistakes, and that will drastically change the state of the board, which not only changes how you move on one board, but how you can move on its 2 opposite boards. But despite that glut of information, it makes sense. Right there, in that moment, you can see your options, you can see the matrix. It's an intoxicatingly accessible amount of data. Here's one of the reasons I don't like chess. I'm not very good at thinking loads of moves ahead, recognizing all the different pitfalls and providing backups for everything I do. I also hate the way in chess you are gradually depowered as you lose pieces, like all your claws being clipped off one by one until you're just this feeble thing waving at the air, just trying to cling on. All of which should suggest, I hate SHŌBU, right? Wrong! Wrong, child! Look at the child! Push him! Push the child! Because of the unique way that SHŌBU works, the fact that you have to do this first move to activate a second move, normally having few pieces on the board is a bad thing. You know, that means you're losing. And that can be the case, but having fewer pieces on the board means you've got so many more places to move to, which means, yeah, you can program 2 boards using this one, and this one's going crazy. So you can actually see underdog stories play out in front of your very eyes. You're down to 1 piece on this board, but suddenly, oh, it's darting, boom, everywhere. And that's when your opponents start worrying, oh, about these boards instead, but that's when you can start programming on these boards to, boom, start KOing with your little guy. Honestly, the number of times I've seen 1 stone backed into a corner, and this activates some sort of berserker mode that frees them up to cause havoc. It is a furious balancing that injects an ancient feeling game with something really modern. And it's a bloody lovely bit of emergent storytelling, a tiny bit of narrative, and a themeless game that for me gives it that extra layer of appeal. You can run distractions, try to make one of the boards, this is the danger board, this is the board where everything's gonna happen, but you're actually positioning stones in order to make aggressive moves elsewhere. Or you can find yourself making these moves that in any other game would have you cornered with your opponent ready for the killing blow. But then because your second move, you just go, blue. And then they can't make the move they need to make to kill you. So you're just skirting this tiny line between like total safety and utter peril, knowing at any point this one could get you, but you're just keeping it out of arm's reach like $1 on a string on this board. It is intensely gratifying and gratifyingly intense. Like the colors of its stones, it is a game that manages to juggle opposites perfectly. Visually incredibly simple, but tactically complex. It is serene and really intense. Your weaknesses can suddenly manifest as massive positives, and it's a game ostensibly of long-term planning that's also so sure. It provides a wonderfully rewarding experience if played just with by the seat of your pants reactive gameplay. So many yins, so many yangs. I think it's the most addictive abstract game I've ever played, and honestly, for the surprisingly low price point of 25 to 30 bucks for this beautiful stuff, you get a very replayable game, simple to learn, hard to master like all good abstracts, addictive turnaround time, and a game that's just so fucking pretty that when you're done, you'll be tempted to just leave it out so people think you're cultured when they come over. The game describes itself as beautifully challenging. It is both of those things, and it is also that one thing. And that is our board game masterpiece video about SHŌBU. Have you played it? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Maybe let us know what other games you think are masterpieces and would like us to cover. Make sure you check out our, we've done an in-person board game club for the first time, and we played Cosmic Encounter, which was the very first video to be featured on Board Game Masterpieces. And now I will close with another haiku. Please like and subscribe to, I'm making this up as I go along, no rolls barred, thank you. Also get on board. Did it!